Good morning, everyone. In the previous session of consumer behavior, I was explaining about applications of consumer behavior in various fields, in how it is actually applied, how the benefit of the study of consumer behavior is actually used in different areas. So in the previous session, I explained like its application in profit marketing, how it is applied by various organizations in order to market their products so that their profits can be increased. And in that point, there are around 4 points. The first point that I have already discussed, that how consumer behavior is used for analyzing various opportunities in the market and then taking advantage of those opportunities. And the second point is segmentation, targeting, and positioning. Now, consumer behavior also plays a very important role in the segmentation of the market, then targeting the segmented market, and then positioning their product in that target market. So in these ways, in these areas, consumer behavior was used by or is used by various organizations in order to increase their profit, in order to increase their sales of in order to increase the sales of their products. Okay, so in this session I am going to discuss the remaining points of applications of consumer behavior. Okay, so the next point that you are seeing is designing market strategy. So in application in profit marketing, that is application of consumer behavior in profit marketing, the third point here it says that designing the marketing strategy. So whenever a company wants to introduce a product to the consumers, want to capture the attention of the consumers, then they have to create the marketing strategy. What are the various things they have to create under the marketing strategy? How they will market the product by considering various aspects, how to advertise and other things. So these marketing strategy must be created keeping in mind these three elements, that is consumer, environment, and then marketing strategy. So first aspect here says that consumer needs to be the most important part of the marketing strategy, because every company wants the consumers to purchase the product, use the product, and again purchase their product. So they want their consumers to be loyal, they want their consumers to be their regular customers. So keeping in mind the consumer aspect, they are supposed to create marketing strategy. Now as consumers, consumers usually have three aspects, that is cognition, affect, and behavior. Cognition means they always try to they always think about the product, they try to get information about the product, they always usually like to analyze the various reviews of the product, they want to analyze the information of the product. That is the thinking aspect of the consumer, how consumers think about a particular product by collecting information, by analyzing those information. Then it will lead to effect. Effect means it can be favorable or unfavorable also. Favorable here means liking of a particular product. Suppose you get certain information about the product and you feel that this information is useful for you, this product may prove to be useful for you, because whatever attributes you want to have in a particular product, those attributes already the product actually possesses. So that's why effect will be either favorable or unfavorableness, that is liking towards a particular product, or dislike towards a particular product. Now these liking and disliking will lead to a certain kind of action, and that action is considered to be the behavior of the consumer. Action here means, suppose you like a product, you have understood the various information that you have gathered regarding the product, you know that this product may prove useful, may be proved useful for you, this product will actually fulfill your needs and requirements, so that leads to the liking of the product or favorableness of the product. That is the effect one. Behavior action means this liking or favorableness will actually lead to an action, that is the purchase of the product. When you feel that as a consumer, you would like to have this product because this product fulfills your requirements and needs, you will actually purchase the product. That is the action. But what if you don't like a product? What if you think that this product may be completely useless for you, or it is not going to satisfy all the needs and requirements? Then it will lead to the rejection of the product. That is that you won't purchase the product. So here a consumer usually has three aspects, that is cognition, that is the thinking aspect, affect, after cognition there is affect, that is liking or disliking of the information of the product, and then it will lead to behavior, that is the action. If you like the product, you will you will go for purchasing of the product, and if you dislike the product, you will reject the product. So that action becomes part of the behavior. So whenever a company wants to create a marketing strategy, now marketing strategy is created to increase the number of customers, influence the customers, and encourage them to purchase a product. So we have to keep in mind the consumer, what consumer want, what are the various ways through which they collect information about the product, what are the things they expect from a particular product, what kinds of features and attributes they want to have in a particular kind of product. So study of consumer behavior actually provides all this information about the consumers, how they collect information, what are the elements they give importance in relation to a particular product. For example, take example of shampoo. Why do people actually use shampoo? They use it to clean their hair. Simple. It may be anti-dandruff, it may be something to change the texture of your hair. There are various types of products available for different consumers. A single brand manufactures variety of shampoos in order to satisfy every consumer who have little bit of different kind of need. Okay, so that needs to be kept in mind, and this information can be collected through the study of consumer behavior. So the study of consumer behavior is extremely important, and it is applied in the creation of marketing strategy. So the first aspect of designing marketing strategy is keeping in mind the needs and requirements of the consumers, and to what extent these consumers want to satisfy their needs and requirements. Okay. Now move on to the second point, that is environment. Now being part of an environment, as consumers we are also part of the environment, and as manufacturers, as producers, these companies are also part of the environment. Now this environment has different kinds of impact on the consumer as well as on the company. There are many products which are not used by the consumers, keeping in mind various aspects of the product. For example, recently, I'm just giving an example, recently because of the recent scenario of like what we use, what India usually has the obsession towards the fairness of a person. Why India is obsessed towards fairness creams, or they have obsession regarding the fair skin. So because of these kind of problems, now the Unilever, Hindustan Unilever is actually planning to drop the word fair from Fair and Lovely product. So this is a step which is taken by the pressure of the environment, by the society. The society does not want to discriminate people on the basis of the skin color. So that is the trend that we are having right now. This is kind of new thing that is going on. This is some kind of revolution going on, that is everyone is against the discrimination based on the skin color, which is still which is already there in our society from many years, but at now people are actually talking about it, people are actually focused about it. So the company has decided to drop the word fair from Fair and Lovely because of the environmental pressure, because from the societal pressure, and from the consumer point of view also, because it actually projects that people having, especially women having fair skin, has they usually become successful comparison to those who do not have fair skin. So that was the projection of the product. So now they have decided to drop the word so that it will not create any kind of discrimination based on the skin color. And that usually happened because of the changes in the external environment. So this environment creates or has major influence on a product, how they create a product, how they market the product. So that is the one of the most important aspect. Now, if you'll see, there are many products that who are marketing their product based on that this is created in India. This is for Indian people. This is an Indian company. This is an Indian brand. They focus on that aspect. So these actually happen because of environmental changes. Let us take example of present scenario. The tension between India and China has led many institutions, even many consumers want to not to use any kind of Chinese brand or Chinese product. That is the thinking of our consumers, that we don't want to use Chinese product and we want to use Indian products. We want to understand which product is made in which country. That information needs to be disclosed by every product. Even manufacturing concern, they also have to disclose that the raw materials are brought from which country, the origin, the country needs to be disclosed, the name of the country needs to be disclosed from which the raw materials have actually purchased by the manufacturing company. So these decisions are taken based on the external environment. So while making a marketing strategy, we have to, every organization has to focus on the environmental aspect. It includes social environment, political environment, legal environment, and there are various aspects, other environment also. So while creating marketing strategy, the first point that we focus, that is consumer. The second point of focus is environment. Now let us move on to the third point, that is marketing strategy. So here in this third point, the most important element in this point is that the organization first of all needs to create a marketing goals. What is the actual goal the company wants to achieve in marketing aspect, and then create a strategy which will actually help the organization to achieve the goal. Now this marketing strategy needs to be very flexible in nature, needs to be reviewed from time to time. Necessary changes should be made in accordance to the various kind of changes that take place. So this marketing strategy is actually about creating a proper marketing mix that will help the organization to market the product successfully, to influence the consumers, to provide the necessary information of the product to the consumers, to make the product actually available to the consumers, and also involves the price element in it. So here marketing strategy means creating a particular kind of marketing mix, keeping in mind the consumers, keeping in mind the various elements of environment, and then creating a strategy. So first of all, they have to create a goal, and then they have to create a strategy in order to achieve the goal. Okay, so this is the third point of application of consumer behavior in profit marketing. The fourth point here says that designing the marketing mix. Now here you can see the 4 P's of marketing mix: product, price, place, and promotion. These are the 4 elements which are very important in marketing. So every organization has to focus on these elements. Now these decision regarding these 4 elements, decision regarding creating a perfect marketing mix for the particular product, needs to be based on consumer behavior, study of consumer behavior. If we understand what consumers actually want, then we can provide them what they actually want, and on that basis we can create a product, we can create a particular price, we can also distribute, we have to also make the product available through distribution channel, and what kind of different promotional strategy the company is supposed to be used. These kind of decision can be easily taken if we have detailed report of study of consumer behavior, or if we have conducted some kind of survey or research based on the study of consumer behavior. How consumers purchase a product, how they collect information, why they purchase a product, what are the various sources through which they purchase the product, and what are the attributes and features they require in a particular product. So the study of consumer behavior reveals all these elements, which makes it easy for the organization to create a particular marketing mix, which is not only going to be helpful for the company, as well as it is also going to be very beneficial for the consumers, because they will get what they actually expect on the price, on the particular price, within the particular price range, and it will be also available to them. So consumer behavior is very important. It is usually which is usually applied in the while deciding about the marketing mix. So the first point that you can see here is the product. So a company wants to create a product, and what kind of product they are supposed to create? First of all, they need to understand the unfulfilled needs and requirements of the consumer, so that they can create a product which can not only satisfy the wants of the consumers, but it will satisfy them before the competitors. Before our competitors, we need to create a product so that we will get more and more consumers. Clear? So product needs to be created in such a way that it satisfies the needs and requirements of the consumer. So I'll give an example. You all are very much aware about the product Maggi noodles. Maggi noodle is very popular in India. And when it was initially launched, it was launched in a particular size of packet, and with some kind of limited flavors, that is the classical flavor and other kind of flavor. Only 1 or 2 flavors were introduced when this product was initially introduced. But when they saw that this product is getting more and more popular, what they did, they launched their product in various sizes, from small pack to family pack, from pack of 4 to pack of 6. So they launched the product in different sizes and different price range, and also with different and variety of flavors. You can find different kinds of flavors. You can also find chicken flavored noodles. So this was the modification in the product after understanding what consumers actually want. Now if you see, like I said, simple example, shampoo. Whenever a shampoo is introduced, they target a particular market, they create a particular, then they understand the requirements of other people who can actually become their consumers, who actually want to purchase the product, but they want certain kind of different or certain changes in the product. So they make necessary changes, they make new products and launch them to those consumers who want to purchase the product. Okay, so that is the product. Creating a product according to the needs and requirements of the consumer, so that the company can have more and more number of consumers, and at the same time the requirements of the consumers can actually be fulfilled. Okay, now let us move on to the second point, that is price. Now whenever we purchase a product, we always go understand what is the relation between the price and the product. We want to justify, is this product actually worth the price which is mentioned on the pack, which is mentioned on the product? We always want to justify. Now as Indian consumers, we always relate price to quality. If a product has high price, if a product is priced at a highest level or highly priced, then it means that according to the consumers, it means to them that it has better quality. It is a better quality product than those which are cheap. That is one of the thinking that usually consumer have. They relate price with the quality of the product. Good quality product means highly priced. Low quality product means low price. So that is the relation that we consumers usually create between price and quality of the product. So the company needs to focus on fixing the price in such a way that it is beneficial for the company, as well as the consumers are willing to pay the price which is mentioned on the product. See, a company is creating an extremely good product, but what if it is extremely expensive? Nobody would like to have a product which is extremely expensive. They want to try the products which is less priced. Take example of Tide. Tide, when it was introduced in the market, it was the price of the product was very high, but the quality was also very high. But it was not accepted by the Indian market because there were many detergent powder which were very cheap, and to some extent they were also very effective. So what they did, they reduced the concentrated level of the product and launched them at a lower price. And at the same time, they launched product in small packs so that it will be beneficial for the company as well as the consumers. So price is to be considered one of the most important part of marketing mix. Now price means it needs to satisfy the consumers as well as it needs to benefit the company. We cannot compromise the profit of the company in order to satisfy the consumer. So we will keep the price of the product in such a range that it satisfies both the parties. Okay. Now let's move on to the third one, place and distribution. Here means making our products available to the consumers. And how do we make our products available to the consumers? Through various types of distribution channel. The decision regarding choosing a distribution channel is one of the important part of marketing mix. Now, usually whether it is going to be the normal distribution channel, that is manufacturer, distributors, wholesalers, retailers, that is the normal distribution channel which usually most of the company follow. And there are other types of channels. Nowadays we have different types of sites, that is Amazon, Flipkart, that we purchase directly from the manufacturer, or we purchase from the local wholesalers or retailers at a very less price. So these are the, now we can see smartphones like Realme or Xiaomi, the online selling is one of the most important part of the product. They go for this online selling only. It is even if at present time you won't see a retail outlet of Realme, even if there are many shops which are selling the mobile of Realme, but still initially when it was introduced, the selling used to take place through online basis only. That is the channel of distribution that they have selected for the product. I'll give another example. Eureka Forbes, when they introduced vacuum cleaner in Indian market. Now during that time, vacuum cleaners were not at all popular in India. Very few people actually had knowledge about vacuum cleaner, how it is supposed to be used. They have this kind of misconception that vacuum cleaner do not clean like the traditional ways of cleaning. So they chose a different kind of distribution channel, that is door to door, that is personal selling. So they go with the product, they demonstrate how the product works, and that is the method they use. Eureka Forbes for vacuum cleaner as well as for the other products like AquaGuard. So that is the decision taken by the company, what type of distribution channel they want to have. Now this decision needs to be based on the study of consumer behavior. We need to understand what level of knowledge the people actually have regarding our product, and how we can enhance this thing, and what kind of distribution channel we are going to have so that our sales will increase. For a particular product like a biscuit does not need to be sold from door to door basis. A biscuit is available in market, people will know about it and people will purchase it. Let us give example of Parle-G. Parle-G is a product which is highly consumed in India, and during this shutdown time period, it has reached to a peak level. The sales were so high, it was the highest in comparison to the previous year's sales from the time of introduction of the product. So we are very well aware about the Parle-G brand. Even if it does not advertise the product on the TV, we are aware of it. It is available in every retail outlet. It is easily available, can be bought from a small store also. That is the distribution channel they have decided, because this is one of the basic necessity that is come under the food category, and people are aware of it. So let us distribute our product, let us make our product available everywhere. It is for all kinds of consumers. It is for rich consumers, it is for middle class consumers, it is for poor consumers also. So this product is available for everybody. But there are certain products which are made for limited kind of people, which are made for limited section of the people. So they market their product, they distribute their product according to the target market. Okay. Now let us move on to the fourth point, that is promotion of the product. How do a company need to promote or advertise a product? So promotion means we have decided, now we have for example, we have created a product, we have fixed a price of the product, we have already decided what should be the distribution channel of the product. Now we are supposed to inform our consumers regarding our product. And what are the various ways of informing them, providing them information, encouraging them to buy the product? That is advertisement, personal selling, publicity. There are various methods of promotion. So a company needs to understand what is the appropriate method of promotion, appropriate way of promotion for our product that we are manufacturing. And in order to understand or select the appropriate method, the company needs to understand the behavior pattern of the consumer. For example, to what extent we need to provide information about the product to the consumers, what kind of advertisement we are supposed to create. So these are the things that come under the promotion aspect. Communication of the product or providing information about the product to the consumers in different ways through different channels. So that is the promotion aspect. Like I said, Eureka Forbes chose personal selling because vacuum cleaners were not very popular in India when it was introduced. So they decided to go to consumers, demonstrate about the operation of a vacuum cleaner, how it is used, how it is beneficial, how it needs less effort, how it saves a lot of time of the consumer. So these are the methods which companies use based on the type of product and also based on the type of consumers to whom they want to sell a product. So these are the four important elements of marketing mix which use the study of consumer behavior. Okay. Now let's move on to the next point, that is application in social marketing and non-profit marketing. Now you must have heard there are many NGOs, there are many organizations who do good for the society, the charitable institutions, NGOs, which provide product at a cheaper rate, who create awareness about many kinds of issues like AIDS awareness, or they are creating awareness about the domestic violence. There are many things in which many organizations are involved, and they are not-profit organization. They don't want to earn profit out of that, whatever charity they are doing or whatever awareness they are creating. So why consumer behavior, the study of consumer behavior is necessary in social marketing? How does UNICEF will use marketing the study of consumer behavior? Now, for example, creating awareness needs to if an organization wants to create awareness about a particular issue, and for that purpose we need to understand the mindset of the people, to what extent people are aware about the particular cause or whatever the issue is. So for that reason we need to understand the behavior pattern. I'll give an example. Nowadays because of lockdown, there is a increase in the use of plastic, single-use plastic, which are not reusable, and most of the people do not even think of recycling the plastic. So what happened, there is the use of plastic has increased during this time, and it creates a big problem from the environment point of view. Yesterday I was going through a documentary or a news that I was seeing on a TV, that in Thailand, because of excessive use of plastic, that is for food delivery or purchase from a local shop or online purchases, that has increased the use of plastic, that has created huge, like mountains of plastic, and it is being dumped in sea. and because of which various creatures, various animals, aquatic animals are harmed. The water is polluted, and it is a very, what we can say, harmful for the environment. So if an NGO wants to create awareness about it, they will understand why people use plastic first of all, because it is convenient, because it is cheap. That is our point of view of using plastic. And there is another point of view that a single piece of plastic is not going to pollute the environment. But we don't know how much amount of plastic is being used on a daily basis. So we don't know. We throw the plastic bottles, we throw the plastic bag, we don't even think about recycling the plastics. So that is our point of view. So if a NGO wants to create awareness about the use of plastic, how it is harmful for the environment, how it is ultimately becoming harmful for us also, they need to understand why people use plastic, what are their various reasons, what kind of thinking they have regarding disposing the plastic, regarding recycling of the plastic. After understanding that, they can create awareness. So that is the marketing that is some kind of marketing they use for creating awareness. They understand the behavior pattern of the consumer and then try to create an awareness program which will help the consumers, which will help to understand the basic element of a cause, that is basic element of their awareness program. So nowadays consumer behavior is also used in social marketing and non-profit marketing also. Now let us move on to the last point, that is application is strategic marketing. Now strategic marketing means if we have a particular product and we have created a strategy for that product, is the strategy applicable only for a particular segment of people or applicable for everyone? Everyone that is watching our advertisement, everyone that is who is watching our advertisement or promotion or any kind of other things, means any kind of other methods which are used to promote a product. So is it suitable that is it okay to just create one marketing strategy and apply it for every consumer? Or do we need to create different strategies for different set of people? Different set of people. So first of all, I'll give an example. When washing powder was introduced, detergent washing powder, it was not very popular in rural India. Why? Even in urban India, it was not very popular. Let us focus first in urban India. When it was introduced, the washing powder detergent, during that time, the washing that we are seeing that bars were used. That used to say that sabun ki tikya, that kind of thing was used. A piece of soap was used like a bar or a cake, and we apply it on our clothes, and we believe that it gives better cleaning. It cleans our clothes in a better way. So when washing powder was introduced, there was a thinking that washing powder can only be used in washing machine. So what happened, because this washing powder was not very popular, it was not actually understood by the consumers. What they did, instead of focusing on marketing washing powder, they focused on marketing the washing cakes or washing bars. And they tried to create a market by popularizing it in a way that it does not harm your hand, it does not create any kind of rashes and everything. So that was the initial marketing program for washing bars. But their ultimate goal was to popularize washing powder. But that was the first step that they took. First, they want to popularize their washing bars, and then they understood after making it popular, then we are going to make the consumers focus on the detergent aspect. So they created washing bar, which was very popular, used in both urban and rural India. Then what happened? They wanted to launch washing powder. And during that time, it was believed that washing powder is supposed to be used only in washing machine. But they explained that you can use washing powder in a tub of water, in a tub or in any kind of container. You can put the washing powder, you can soak your clothes for a particular time and rub it with your hands. So that will ultimately clean your clean your clothes. So that was the approach made by the made by the company, that washing powder can actually be used without even washing machine. Like that example that I gave, like changing the pricing of the product, that Tide and Surf Excel, when Tide was introduced in the market, it was highly priced because it was very concentrated and the quality was also very good. But because of a high price, it did not create a market in the Indian, they did not capture the Indian consumer. So what they did, they reduced the concentration level, launched the product at a lesser price. So they use marketing strategy for different segments of people. Take example of different products that we have. We have the same, that we are going to use the detergent or liquid detergent that it is available. It is meant for different people. You have a pack of 10 rupees. You have a washing powder for front load and upper load of washing machines. So these are the various categories which are used. So they use different marketing strategy to capture different segment of the consumers. And this has become possible only through the study of consumer behavior. So in this point, we have actually understood that all the points that we have discussed, that the study of consumer behavior is applied in various elements, and it has a major contribution towards the success of a product, towards creation of a product, towards fixing of price of the product, and even creating a strategy for marketing of the product. So this is the basic role of consumer behavior in each and every element of the product, from starting from profit marketing, starting from segmentation, targeting. It is useful, it is applicable in every area. So this is usually the last topic of the first unit, that is application of consumer behavior. So till now I have discussed all the topics which are part of the first unit. So I have completed the first unit. This is the last topic. In the next session, what I am going to do, I am going to discuss a case related to consumer behavior. The simple, a very simple case I am going to discuss. And after discussing the case, I will revise the entire unit. I will explain about the entire unit in a brief manner, so that again you will understand what are the different elements of the first unit. So today I have explained about the last topic, that is application of consumer behavior. In the next session, I am going to discuss a case, and then I am going to revise the first unit. So that's it for today. Thank you.